You know, when you were in school, you probably read lots of books about history, but when you talk to your parents and your grandparents, you may have heard a different take on things. That's because every person has a story. They have things to add to the pages of history. So, what's your story? Well, that's what some UNCG students asked when they met a group of senior citizens in Greensboro, and they found out those stories were just waiting to be told. When you're searching for stories, look to the people who've seen history firsthand. That's why UNCG history students looked to some of the people at the Greensboro Senior Center. Some of them needed a little convincing, though.
It's not all about textbook history, the normal things that you hear about. It's just little things that people do throughout the day. Don't really think it's important, but I think it is.
Their memories and stories helped create a museum exhibit called Here's My Story, Senior Voices in Greensboro. They talked about shared experiences like food or technology, even major news events like the Civil Rights Movement or World War II.
One woman actually said that she was very young and her father was overseas during World War II and he'd always send her candy home. And she'd run to the mailbox, get the candy, and hide behind the house and eat it all at one time. And she said, Joe, he got sick from it. So, I mean, some things we didn't even ask. It just came out.
The best things in my neighborhood, they had 45 records, the ones with the big hole in the middle. And
when I was a child, I read something like Buck Rogers, which is a comic strip.
Those interviews are part of the exhibit, along with items on loan from some of the seniors. That's how you take stories and create an exhibit like this. It's a learning experience for these grad students who will eventually be doing this as part of their careers.
I did not know anything about design, about using these computer programs to make the panels, so I learned a lot there. I learned a lot about doing oral history, which I had only a very little experience with, about doing things like dealing with media, press releases, taking care of all those little details, budgeting.
People who come to see the exhibit will probably see a lot of themselves. After all, the message is that everyone has a story. Everyone has their own version of history, and each perspective is important, including the people who put this together.
Running throughout this exhibit are reflections and quotes from the students about how they saw the experience and what they learned from the seniors. And I think that offers another way in for audiences of different ages.
The exhibit will last for several months. The relationships will last even longer.
It was so much fun. I feel like I have a whole bunch of grandmas now.
Another lesson learned, one that never gets old.